Hey, you. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. Are you looking for the best way to promote your podcast? It's easy. Just advertise your podcast to your ideal target audience. That's right, listeners of similar podcasts. Podbean has the best and most cost-effective options for you. Just go to the website sponsorship.podbean.com/STR. That's right, your friends here at Scout Team Radio are hooking you up. Go to sponsorship.podbean.com/STR and you will get the best deals to get your podcast rolling. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy Scout Team Radio.
Yeah.
You want to like them, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. We straight gangsters over here.
Straight
man.
gangsters. Yeah, good morning and welcome back. You are listening to Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every weekday morning, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. I am one of your gracious hosts. They call me Loudbeard.
You are the most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And the man on the other microphone, he is a great, great, great patriot. America. And his microphone is off. That's typically how it works here on Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, and you never know what you're going to get. My co-host...
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris America.
You are the microphone turned off king. I was like thinking, did he sleep in or is the microphone off? I'm like,
No,
90%, 95%.
It's the microphone button.
It's the microphone button. That thing gets you every time.
Checked my settings, adjusted my levels, forgot to hit turn on mic.
Yeah, that's the important button that you need to hit. That's the one that you have to hit each and every morning.
I wish
Chris
people
America,
could see me on the other end talking to nobody.
You're talking, and
then
all of a sudden you
talking.
hear me talk, and then you're
And then all of a
probably
sudden
like,
I'm like, ah.
Here we go again. There we go. That's okay.
Mother of God.
Well, Chris America, I've got big news I want to share with all of our listeners out there. You ready for this?
What's the big news?
Big news. You know, we are here on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. That's where we go live each and every morning.
Yes.
This is our station.
Uh-huh.
But we're growing.
We are growing. Did you know?
Getting...
Remember how last week we had 10,000 downloads and we were celebrating it?
Yes.
We are already at 11,000 downloads.
It's coming in fast and furiously.
Yes.
We're also getting syndicated now that we are growing here at Scout Team Radio. So we have been picked up by Full Press Coverage Radio, which I'm excited to announce. So starting this morning, right now, we are live on Full Press Coverage Radio.
Oh, man, I didn't even...
the stream here from 12 Ounce. Yes.
We have a new audience?
We have a new audience, and you came in hot with your microphone off.
I did, and I didn't even wear any makeup. My hair's not did yet. A little warning would have been nice, Loudbeard.
I gave you that winky face last night. I thought that was clear enough information for you to
I thought
understand
that meant
exactly.
something else. No.
Oh, you thought it meant that other thing that I do for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You sure?
We're talking about when you do that thing where you complain about your Redskins having your owner do your draft for you.
Yeah, you know, one of the best things you can do is talk about the Redskins on this radio station and let me just go get derailed and go off on a tangent.
Well,
and you're setting me up this morning. You are setting me up good.
It is Draft Thursday. It's here. And I got to tell you, Loudbeard, I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older. I'm just more interested in other things. Maybe because the Panthers don't really have that great of a pick. But I'm just not really excited about this draft. Last year's draft I was because you had all those quarterbacks. What, 5 went in the first round?
Yeah, it was a quarterback-heavy draft last year. Yep. This year, not so much, huh?
This year, people are pumping up Dwayne Haskins, and I don't even know if I want to pump him up. And then people are pumping up Kyler Murray, and I don't even know if I want him to be pumped up. It could almost be like the Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston draft, where those were the only two really names that you knew, and those could go 1 and 2, and both of their careers have been just kind of
Yeah, they really have been, and it's kind of unfortunate, but
like
it's
we've had
okay,
other
Chris
quarterbacks
America.
come since those two guys got picked that have done way more than that number 1 and number 2 overall. And I kind of feel like that's what we're heading with Haskins and Murray. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but that's just where I'm at today.
That is where you're at. Now, Chris America, are you okay if I just throw you to the wolves here, and I'm going to ask you 7 questions, and I want you to tell me if you yay or nay is what I'm going to do. This is going to be the name of this segment, yay or nay. So it is draft day, and I was looking at The Score. It's a great app. It's got a lot of great information, and they had the 7 bold predictions for the NFL draft.
Okay.
And these are quite bold, Chris America, and I want you to tell me yay or nay to each of these bold predictions. So number 1, there will be no wide receiver or running back taken in the first round. Yay or nay, my friend?
I say nay, sir.
Nay, sir. That's
Somebody's going to overreach for that DK Metcalf kid.
That's true. DK.
Is it DK or DJ?
I'm pretty sure it's a DK.
Okay, DK.
Yeah. All right, so this next one's dumb. Okay, so I'm going to do 6 of them. Passing on that one. The Giants will trade up to number 1 overall. Yay or nay, sir?
I'm going to say nay. I think Arizona really wants Kyler Murray.
Man, you hate these bold predictions. Number 3, 10 offensive linemen will be picked in the first round. Yay
I
or
say yay.
All right,
that is
there we
a big
go.
time yay
O-line.
because there's a
Big
ton
O-line
of tons of teams that need offensive line. It is a desperate need right now for a lot of teams. You know, you look at Jaguars need an offensive line. The Dolphins need an offensive line. You could probably use some help over there in Kansas City. I don't know if they're going to do that. No, wait, never mind. Kansas City, I think, traded away their their first round pick yesterday. We can talk about that. But yeah, just if you look all across the board, especially with how good the defensive ends and the edge rushers are coming off the line, they're getting better, more athletic. You need a good offensive line.
All right, that's good reasoning behind yours. Greedy Williams, top defensive back out of LSU. He goes in the top 5. Bold prediction. Yay or nay?
I don't even know who the top 5 teams are. So, you know what? I'm gonna say yay, just because he is a big time pick, and I'm gonna go yay.
All right, here's one more for you.
Even though Felipe Franks did catch a pass in the secondary, I don't know if Greedy Williams was around, but when your secondary allows Felipe Franks to catch a pass, it's not a good secondary.
All right, next one. All right, so this is a good one. Chiefs trade Tyreek Hill. Yay or nay?
Nay.
You're not going for the draft day trade. The rumblings have been coming out of Kansas City that this guy could be on the trading block, and draft day trades happen fast and furiously.
Was that the last one?
No, there's one more after that. There's one more bold prediction.
So we don't want to go to the Tyreek Hill just yet?
Okay, let me go to this last one, and then we'll circle back around to your buddy Tyreek Hill. Last one. Only 2 quarterbacks will be selected in the first round. Yay or nay, sir?
I'm going to say nay. I think your Redskins draft a quarterback in the first round. I think they still go after that kid from Duke.
Yeah, I'm going to say nay to that also. There's Just too many rumors out there, and quarterbacks just they get elevated so quickly because the position is so important. I think we both believe that Kyler Murray and Dwayne Haskins are slam dunk top 10 guys at this point. Somebody's going to reach for both of those guys. But the other ones are Drew Lock and Daniel Jones. I think both of those guys also make it in the first round. So I'm looking at 4 quarterbacks in the first round, and I wouldn't be surprised if a 5th snuck in there because we go crazy. We go goo goo gaga over these quarterbacks, and I think there will be more than 2 selected. Now, Chris America.
Yeah.
I had to open up this can of worms. Tyreek Hill. There's a lot more to this guy than just trade day rumors, isn't there?
There is, and the DA for wherever this incident was taking place came out and held a press conference and said that there is not enough evidence to charge Tyreek Hill with anything. However, there is no doubt in their mind that a crime did occur against this child. They just can't prove who did what. And to me, it's a sad situation because this poor child is a victim of abuse by somebody, and he's not able to get the help that he needs due to lack of evidence. And I'm not going to sit here and say Tyreek Hill did it because I don't know. I just don't know. I just wish that we could know who did it so they could be punished and so that child can be protected from them. With that said, I really don't know what the NFL does with that. I don't know how the NFL moves forward with that information and what other information they're able to dig up in their quote-unquote investigation, whatever that is. So you asked if the Chiefs trade him. It's so hard to tell because, if he doesn't get suspended, he's going to play, whether he's on the Chiefs or not. They're going to say, well, everybody did what they could and there's no proof of crime. So we just got to go with our gut. He told us he didn't do it, so we're just going to play him. And you'd have to give up a lot to get Tyreek Hill from me. He's a good wide receiver, and he works well with Patrick Mahomes because Mahomes has such a strong arm that he just tells, Tyreek to just get behind the defense and I'll throw it up and you can chase the ball down.
Yeah, you're right. You're going to have to give up a lot for this guy, and just knowing that there's these allegations that were out there, even though there's not charges that are being pressed, that also has to make a team kind of take a second guess at whether or not they want to trade trade a good draft pick, a number 1 draft pick, or trade a good player, or whatever they want to do for this guy. I think the Chiefs do need to keep him, but I do love me a good draft day trade when a big-time name like a guy like Tyreek Hill or whoever it may be in the years past, like a guy like Alex Smith or Donovan McNabb, all of these guys have been traded on draft day by Andy Reid, a matter of fact. And I love it, man. It's always a good time. Somehow my Redskins always get involved in these deals, and for whatever reason, they don't always pan out. And I look back at RG3. We traded up to get him. Didn't work out. We traded up to get Donovan McNabb from the Eagles, or traded a lot of draft picks to get him. Didn't work out. We traded for Alex Smith. It worked out for several games until his leg broke in half. So maybe the Redskins need to figure out that it's not a good idea to make all these trades and lose all these draft picks just for these big names.
Yeah, I say maybe you just hold true to form. It sounds like nobody thinks there's that many people going after a quarterback. So you could maybe even trade down in the draft and still get that guy from Duke. I don't know. It's a wild game, that NFL draft.
It is. It is a game of Russian roulette, if I tell you what I really think about it. Because when you look back at some of these drafts, I mean, you're like, oh, look, top 10 in the draft, superstar, bust, superstar, bust, superstar. Like, you're like, okay, am I getting the bullet or am I getting the empty chamber? I don't know what I'm getting every time you pull that trigger on a draft pick. So it is a crazy game. And when you start throwing in trades, it gets even crazier. And I don't know. I'm excited to watch it tonight. I'll be honest with you, Chris America. I haven't spent 1,000 hours prepping for the draft like maybe I've done in years past, where I'm excited because I hear all the rumors and start speculating about all these teams. But the first round of the draft is always a lot of fun because you never know what trades are going to happen, and you do want to see where these big-time college names are going to go. Where is Kyler Murray going to go? Is it a smokescreen that Arizona's saying they're not quite decided, or do we really know that they are going after Kyler Murray? Or, like was mentioned on this bold prediction segment, does a team like the New York Giants come up and make a crazy pick to go get the number 1 draft pick and throw away a bunch of their future draft picks? Does a team like the Washington Redskins from pick what are they at, 15 or 16? Do they try to make a leap up to get to the top 5? I mean, who knows? And I'm excited to see how it all unfolds and the train wreck ensues.
And by the way, we kept saying the Duke quarterback. It's Daniel Jones, right? Could be the future of the Redskins.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said Daniel Jones. You said Duke quarterback.
Oh, okay. I must have missed it.
Yeah. You just don't like to listen to me. That's the only problem. This is it. I'm gonna have to go out to Twitter and get advice from people out on Twitter because you just never listen to me. So we are available at Scout Team Radio. Make sure you hit us up. We like to mention your tweets on the air, and we do have a hot tweet coming in. Good friend of the show, Scott Kaiser, already hitting us up. He says, we do have some idea when it comes to the draft. If they become Raiders or until recently Browns, you're going to get that bullet from the chamber. Wait, is the bullet or a bust or a superstar? I don't know. Well, I'll be honest with you. I guess the bullet is the bust and the empty chamber is the superstar because getting the bullet in the head is probably a terrible, terrible thing, I would think, right? You agree with that, Chris America?
Yes.
Or are you just not listening to me again?
Very
because
bad.
now my feelings are hurt.
No, your feelings aren't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
No, you are correct. Loudbeard, 9 times out of 10, you're correct. It's that one time when you disagree with me that you're incorrect.
Did you say something? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah. That's cool.
All right, very cool. You know what?
So, Loudbeard,
yes.
What are some of your draft day traditions? Like, do you play the draft day drinking game?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think in years past. I haven't done the drinking game too heavily. I do like to make fun of all the cliches of the draft, but I think now it's becoming cliche to make fun of the cliches, hasn't it? Every radio station, everybody on Twitter, they all make fun of it. And it used to be fun. Now it's overplayed. So I do want to do the drinking game. I'm thinking tonight maybe hitting up a nice brewery, playing the drinking game, and then catching Craft Brewed Sports. It's on tonight at 8:30 on 12-ounce Sports Radio. And, you know, they've got a big special show tonight, 3-year anniversary. So I can watch that, keep the draft on in the background because there's 10 minutes in between picks, and I don't have attention span for that crap, and drink. So, yeah, this could be a great evening. I may not even remember it after it's all said and done.
Yeah, you get the whole, this guy has a high motor. That's always a good one.
That's a good one.
He is the first and last into practice.
Yeah.
In
the building. He's the first one in and the last one out of the building. The last one out,
that's right. And I kind of want to see, like, go back and see those analysis that say first and last, and then go into their careers and say, like, oh, no, this guy missed out on OTAs.
Yeah. That would be pretty funny. There's always the good old, they're going to be set at this position for 10 years now. This guy, he's going to set him up for 10 years. Yeah. The Raiders won't need to worry about quarterback for 10 years. Jamarcus Russell, he's a freak. He once threw a football 50 yards from his knees. That means NFL quarterback. Book him, Dano.
Book him, Dano. Book him up.
So, yeah, I mean, we're full of potential when we come to draft day. But you're right, the bust side of it and the cliche side of it, that's really what gets us. You hear all the same old crap over and over and over again. And I don't know how they do it. Being on live radio, sometimes you realize, like, okay, I got to fill time. How do I fill that time? Imagine having to sit for like 4.5 hours, like through rounds like 5, 6, and 7, and having to talk about guys that you probably never even heard of. Imagine having to be that guy, like Mel Viper or Scott McShay or whatever those guys' names are.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. But luckily they have like a team of writers and stuff that can, help them out. that kind of just feed them information to make stuff up. You know, like they have a team to do that
Yeah,
for them.
I mean,
We don't
I'll
have that
take
team.
your word for it. They have a team of jabronis that do all the work for them.
Yeah.
Sure. I guess. Is that what happens?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. What else you got going on, Chris America?
I think we got a call coming into the station.
Hey, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. I don't have my call set up all together this
You don't have
morning.
your call set up together?
No, I don't. I really don't. So it's a long story for our listeners, but I occasionally lose some of the equipment because I have kids that like to come and play with my studio, and I'm ready to beat them up, even though they're small children. I've been hanging out with Tyreek Hill too much, and I can't take a call this morning. Sorry, Chris America. I saw it. You saw it just like I did, right on the buzzer. We'll have to take that one tomorrow, I think.
Okay.
We're definitely going to have to take that one tomorrow.
All right. Mel Viper's going to be...
Do you see this tweet coming in? We have a hot tweet coming in again at Scout Team Radio. Make sure you hit us up. We do have that new listeners over at Full Press Coverage Radio, so they can hit us up. And we have our regular listeners who will always listen in on 12 Ounce Sports Radio, one of them being Mike Berlon from Craft Root Sports. Mike, he says, who will be the biggest gym rat in this year's draft? Ooh, Chris America, I'm going to let you handle this. You love the gym rat.
Well, I believe Mel Viper was going to go over that. Maybe we can have him. Maybe we can have him in studio. I'm going to see if I can call him, see if he can come in studio.
Did you say in studio? Is this like Phil Collins?
Yeah, studio. So maybe
Yeah.
we'll have him at the other side of the break. I'm going to see.
That's a good
I'm
idea.
texting him right now. I'm telling him, hey, it's Colin Cowherd. Emergency. Please come into the studio.
Okay, I like that.
I sent him the address. Okay,
All
cool.
right. We'll have Mel Viper coming on the second half of the show. We got to make sure all of our listeners stay tuned for that, and they need to make sure. Oh man, I see. When you read Twitter while you're talking, sometimes you just get thrown off, and I had to laugh a little bit because Mike Berlon's got another one for us. Really looking forward to those solid north to south runners that don't go east to west very much.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all day. The drinking game, anytime there's a cliche, I will be trashed and I will not remember any of the draft. And at the same time, I'm going to have to watch the draft and Craft Root Sports. This is going to be a crazy night, Chris America. There's going to be some good drinking going on, and there is going to be some good entertainment. And it's kicking off the whole weekend of entertainment where we have Endgame coming up this weekend and Game of Thrones this weekend. I'm in heaven right now. This is the greatest weekend possibly ever, except my Capitals lost last night, so I don't want to talk about that. But other than that, greatest weekend ever.
Well, let's also not forget that this is the Craft Brewed Sports 3-year anniversary show, so you want to make sure you tune in for that. They've been accepting calls on their junk line, leaving messages. So I think a couple of the stars from Scout Team Radio called in, and it'll be fun to see that. But make sure you tune in. Those guys are really awesome, really fun. If you like our show, you're gonna love their show because they're just a fun show, just like we are.
Yep. Now, on the flip side, we're going to have some draft coverage with Mel Viper.
Yeah.
So I say, Chris Amaro, are you okay if I jump into some NBA? We've talked a lot about this NFL draft and all these cliches, and haven't even talked once about the NBA. I'm having withdrawals.
Yeah, so you're finally juiced back up. You finally got more NBA talk readily available inside of you after you ran out last night or yesterday morning?
Yeah. I was speechless yesterday, and now today I'm full of vigor.
So yesterday there were 2 games, 2 gentlemen sweeps on the table, and the Rockets, they easily gentlemen sweep the Jazz, and then the Warriors, they make it look easy. They're the best team in the NBA. They complete the gentleman sweep on the Clippers. So the Warriors are now advancing to the second round. All said and done, Clippers get to go home. Sorry, Clippers, you tried, but you didn't win. Doc Rivers, not that good of a coach. They couldn't get it done. They lose to the Warriors. Anything else?
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
That's what I give you for that.
What? What did I do?
What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. You know who did something wrong?
Who?
The Warriors.
What?
You won't believe it, Chris America.
What happened?
We said that gentlemen sweeps were happening all over the league, and we were right for the most part. but there is one place that gentlemen sweeps do not happen, and that is in Los Angeles. The city of Lost Angels has come back, and they have said, no, nay, sir, we will not be defeated by these mighty giants. We are the David, they are the Goliath, and we are not going to just lay down for these jerks. We are going to stand up, and we're going to show them that the Clippers stand for victory. And that's what happened last night. Victory!
Okay, I see that now. 129 to 121 in Golden State. Wow.
On their court.
On their
Shoved
court.
it down their throat. God,
Yeah.
that hurts. Doc Rivers, amazing job coaching. One thing he's done that I really love is he's taken Lou Williams. Lou Williams was kind of that six-man type of player for a lot of his career, and he kind of got plunged into the spotlight in L.A. because he needed to be a superstar. But Doc Rivers has made this move where he's moved Lou Williams to the bench and has him coming off the bench. Now, Lou Williams still getting 34, 35-plus minutes a game, so he's still being on the court for most of it. But he's bringing him off, and he's become kind of like a Manu Ginobili, where you know he's still considered a superstar on this team, but he comes off the bench. So Doc Rivers using some strategy, and it has worked out. And last night it worked out again, and Doc is taking it to Golden State. He's out-coaching Steve Kerr. I'm putting it out there right there. I just said it. Out-coaching Steve Kerr is Doc Rivers.
Well, you got
I wish
Lou
he would have never
Williams.
left Orlando.
Yeah, you got Lou Williams putting up 33, and then Montrezl Harrell 24. That's 57 bench points from two guys. Then you add in Danilo Gallinari's 26 points, and JaMychal Green and Patrick Beverly getting 15 and 17 each. That's a solid stat sheet.
Hey, you didn't even mention on Patrick Beverly's stat sheet, he had 14 rebounds. Your
Yeah,
starting
14 rebounds,
point guard,
yeah.
14 rebounds. That is impressive. He was crashing the boards all night like a man possessed. And that's what you got to do if you are up against a team that has already been crowned the victors in this series by most media and most people out there. You come in and you say, you know what? It's not over yet. We haven't lost yet. And you punch him in the face. And a guy like Patrick Beverly, aggressive as all get out, and I love it. And this team, they've got quite the tenacity to them. Now, I have to ask you, Chris America, if you're one of these free agents coming up this offseason, and you're one of those guys that's like, I need to get to L.A., which L.A.'s better to get to? The Lakers with the superstar LeBron James, but the total dumpster fire that is everything else that is Los Angeles Lakers, or this Clippers team with a fantastic coach, a young core, and a team that is just ferocious? Which one would be better to go to?
I'm going to the Clippers, man.
That's right, you're going to the Clippers. Hell yeah, you are. I'm signing you 6 years, $600 million right now.
Let's go. Boom.
Let's
Lock
do
it up.
Lock them up.
All right, so with this game, the big three for the Warriors showed out. 45 from Durant, 24 from Curry, and 22 from Klay Thompson. Everybody else taking a nap this game. Single digits the rest of the way.
Yeah, but this team is not as deep as it's been in years past. And then when they lost DeMarcus Cousins, I can't emphasize enough how much that's going to hurt. And these other bench guys, they're losing a little bit of their skill. Like Andre Iguodala, dude's getting old. I'm sorry, he's getting old. He's not quite the performer he once was.
He was on the Sixers for a long time before he even got to the Warriors, and he's been on the Warriors for like 4 years now.
Yeah, I feel like Iguodala is past his prime. He's on the downswing. I don't know how old he is. I just feel like he's old. Same thing, Sean Livingston. I don't think he's quite performing like he's done in years past.
He's no spring chicken.
Exactly. So I feel like this team is, because now we've focused so much on the superstars, we realize that there are role players that are important in these championships, and their role players are starting to dry up, and they're not performing the way they need to. So I don't know, man. The writing is on the wall that this is not the Warriors' year. Somebody's got to take them down, and the problem is until they're out, they're always going to have a chance. If they're down 30 points with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter of a series, you still don't count them out because this team still fights. And when you have a guy like Steph Curry and KD, you're always going to have a chance. So somebody's got to take them out. If the Clippers came back after being down 3-1 and they ended up winning this series, how much would that kill the legacy of the Golden State Warriors?
That would be worse than doing it against LeBron James. No, that That would become the worst of all time. I think it'd even be worse than the Lightning's getting swept.
Yeah, keep bringing that up. I don't know why you want to pull at my heartstrings each and every morning. Oh, your Tampa Bay Lightning got swept again, Kyle.
I know.
Or Loudbeard. Sorry, that was behind the scenes. I'm the Wizard of Oz.
You're the one that messed it up this time.
Yeah, usually it's you. It's crazy. But pulling at my heartstring. Oh, your Lightning.
They're my Lightning too.
I'm crying.
It's my depression.
I'm crying.
I know. Do you need a minute? Let's take a minute. Let's go take a break. You can grab some Kleenexes, blow your nose, come back, and we'll see if we can get Mel Viper in the studio.
All right. I like what you're saying. Hey, Kawhi, what are you laughing at, man? This isn't funny. Fantasy sports reimagined. FanDuel, that's what I'm talking about. It is more than just fantasy sports. It's the best way to watch the games, win real cash, and bring the action right to your living room. Just choose a contest, make your picks, watch, and win. And if you go to FanDuel.com/STR today, you can get a $5 deposit bonus. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/STR. Come on, man. This is not a laughing matter.
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. "12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst."
If you've been listening to Scout Team Radio for a long time, you know that myself, Loudbeard, has placed a bet or two in his day. That's right, I've lost the beard bet, I lost the romper bet, but one place I don't like losing is when I bet money, and I can easily do that at MyBookie. That's right, you can go to mybookie.ag, use promo code 12OZSports, and get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Hey, guess what? That is a lot of money. Do it.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Patriot, Chris America, and I want you to listen every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and on replays from 11 a.m. to noon of Scout Team Sports. Listen, George Washington did not cross over the ocean blue in 1492 to defeat the Nazis, so you can listen to the same tired national clickbait sports stories. So once again, tune in to us every single morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then we replay from 11 to noon. I will see you there, and God bless America.
Welcome back, and thank you all for listening in. Once again, we are Scout Team Radio, bringing it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m., live on 12-ounce Sports Radio, and now our new affiliate network, Full Press Coverage Radio. We love that. We also drop each and every episode as a podcast. That's right. We record each episode. You can search us up on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Just search Scout Team Radio. You will find us. Subscribe to us, rate us, review us, do whatever they do on those podcast networks. Make sure you do it. We are also still a part of the Barn Burner Podcast Network. You can check out Barn Burner at barnburner.ca. That is a great partner of ours, and they are a great podcast network. Make sure you check out barnburner.ca, and you will find out all their great programming. All right, make sure you get social with us. We are on Twitter right now. We're getting hot tweets in from Scott Kaiser, from Mike Berlon. All of our listeners and our fans always like to hit us up on the Twitter machine at Scout Team Radio. We will read your tweets live on the air. We will interact. We will talk about your topics. We will do all of that fun stuff. All right, back to the show. Chris America, have you heard of the NFL draft being tonight? Have you heard about this?
Yes, I have heard about this, and we forgot to mention that the Craft Brewed Sports, I don't think I mentioned their time. It's at 8:30. You can find them on 12ouncesportsradio.com, 12ozsportsradio.com, and 8:30, be there sharp.
And what if I'm there at 8:33 and I'm 3 minutes late? Am I a loser?
Then you'll probably miss them talking about some beer and how it feels in their mouth and the mouth feels and the creaminess in their mouth feels. They talk a lot about mouth feels there.
Yeah, it always makes me a little awkward. I'm always like,
Yeah.
ooh, they really are obsessed with these mouthfeels.
Yeah, their
Weird.
beer in their mouth feels.
They love the creamy mouthfeels.
Hello, we gonna get to this interview or what?
Yeah, all right.
Who is this on the other line? Who's on the other mic? I hear a voice in my head, and you guys dragged me down here. You said this is Colin Cowherd. He had an emergency, and I'm just stuck with this schmuck, Chris America, and I don't know who you are.
All right, well, shut up there, Mel Viper. This is Loud Beer. You better recognize who you are talking to, and welcome to
My
Scout
name
Team
is
Radio.
Mel Viper, and nobody tells me to shut up, okay? I'm a
All
big-time
right, Mel
draft
Viper.
analyst. I go on all kinds of shows. I go on the Colin Cowherd show. I go on the Rich Eisen show. I even talk to those two schmucks, what is it, Skip Bayless and that other guy, the Shannon Sharp. Yeah, that guy. And then I go to Michael A. Smith's show, and then that bearded white guy who sounds annoying, never took the time to learn his name. After Skip left, I was like, all right, I don't have time to learn names anymore. I'm an old man. I got to do draft analysis.
Okay. Well, I see where this is going. I feel like, Mel Viper, you're all hyped up. This is like your Super Bowl, right? This is your biggest day of the year. So I have to ask you, how do you
No, my
survive?
biggest day of the year is actually the water polo draft. Big time water polo fan. NFL's like fourth in line of draft analysis that I do.
So who's your number one draft pick for the water polo draft?
It's gonna be a guy by the name of Gnarls Narkley. Yeah, Gnarls Narkley. He's a good guy. Talked to his doctor. Actually, I talked to an archaeologist. He studies dinosaurs. He says he hasn't seen a wingspan like this kid since a pterodactyl discovery he found in like North Dakota or something.
Oh, that large
Yeah,
of a wingspan, huh?
Gnarls Narkley. Good kid.
Okay. Can we get back to the NFL draft? I know you're a water polo guy, but I'd like to talk about the NFL draft. So can you give me maybe a couple of your maybe big-time surprises or some of your analysis of this upcoming draft we have tonight?
Yeah, so first of all, we're talking about this Kyler Murray kid, right? What is he going to do? Is he going to play baseball? Is he going to play football? What is he going to do? So I don't care about that crap. I just analyze the draft. I analyze players. That's what I'm paid to do here. I'm not paid to talk about baseball contracts and none of that stuff. So what I did is I talked to this Kyler Murray kid. I talked to his podiatrist, and he says the feet work on this kid is phenomenal. He hasn't seen a feet like this since he's watched a cheetah chase down a gazelle, and the feet work is great. So if you want a quarterback with good feet work and lots of speed like a cheetah chasing down a gazelle, then you're going to want this Kyler Murray kid. I tell you what.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is good. So do you predict that he's going number one overall because of all this great footwork?
Listen, I told you, I don't do storylines. I just analyze players and drafts. I don't talk to nobody. I look at the film, and I analyze it.
All right, well, who's the next guy that you have on your list?
All right, so the next big quarterback, of course, is that Dwayne Haskins kid out of Ohio State. No quarterback has been good from Ohio State. I don't know why people keep drafting him, but this kid supposedly supposed to be good. I have my doubts, but I did talk to this kid's optometrist, and he says he has the field vision of a hawk. You know, a peregrine falcon, if you will. Just can see from far away, always keeps his head on a swivel, finding that little tiny rat from like 100 miles away to eat. And that's what you're going to get from this kid. He is going to give you that kind of field vision where he can spot a wide receiver wide open 100 miles away.
All right, I like that. So he can eat a field mouse from 100 miles away. That is an important aspect to have in the NFL, you know, when you're going to be a quarterback. Okay, so do you have anybody else that you have an analysis on, or is it we just talking big-time quarterbacks here?
Well, this schmuck here next to me, Chris America, is pointing down to this Daniel Jones kid, which I guess he says that you're wanting him for your Redskins.
I don't know that I am wanting him for my Redskins, but the reports are out there. They're becoming rampant all over the world of the NFL.
Okay, you don't want this kid, okay? I talked to this
good.
kid's proctologist, and he has a giant stick up his ass, okay? You don't want a kid like that. You know, the proctologist says it's like way up there. So I mean, unless he gets it surgically removed, which I would if I had a giant stick up my ass. I would get it surgically removed, but, Mel Viper says don't take this, kid.
Now, are you sure when he was doing that analysis, the proctologist didn't actually find Daniel Snyder stuck up his ass, or was it actually a stick?
I mean, is there a difference between a stick and a Daniel Schneider? I don't think so.
No, they have the same personality.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Anybody else sticking out to you, or are we just all
I see what you did there.
today?
You said sticking out like that stick up his ass.
No, I didn't.
Just one last kid. Everybody's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for this DK Metcalf kid. And listen, if you want a Mr. Universe or whatever that bodybuilding contest guy is, you take that guy. I talked to this kid's nutritionist. He says he's eating steroid pancakes and HGH orange juice for breakfast and maybe a couple of eggs. For the protein.
Is that good? Is that good nutrition?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look jacked up like you're ready to go on WWE and body slam, like Brock Lesnar or maybe take on John Cena, then sure, you're good to go. But wide receiver, I don't know.
All right, I have one last question for you.
Okay. You got 5 minutes.
This is such an important day for you, Mel Viper. I want to know, how do you make it all through the draft without going to the bathroom?
Well, I have a catheter.
Okay.
I'm old enough to where I just tell my doctor, look, I got a draft I go to. My prostate's very enlarged. So what do I do? And he says, we'll hook you up with a catheter. So it's very uncomfortable. It's probably why I sound like I'm irritated all the time. I'm sorry, fellas. No, I'm not sorry. You're a bunch of schmucks.
All right. You're a bunch of schmucks. Okay, thank you so much, Mel Viper. We appreciate you coming on live this morning on this beautiful NFL Draft Day. It is finally here, the draft we've been waiting for all year. And no, I am not talking about your water polo draft. I'm talking about the NFL draft. But we appreciate it, and get the hell out of here. You're not welcome any longer.
Yeah, whatever, you schmucks. I hope you get hit by a car on your way to work.
I already said get out of here. I don't have to say it twice, do I? All right. Chris America, did you kick him out of your studio?
He's gone. He left in a huff.
All right.
He
good.
mumbled something about like he's gonna talk to his agent. I don't know.
All right, whatever. I don't care. Moving on. Wow, a lot of good draft analyzing over there.
Yeah.
So I appreciated all of that, and I don't even have anything else to add to the draft. So I'm gonna move on. We got to get. I told you I got a lot to talk about with the NBA, and I didn't even really get to talk about it that much. We talked about the Clippers, but there was another game last night. It wasn't just the Clippers that were played. It was the Houston Rockets against the Utah Jazz, and we finally get what we all wanted all night long, and that is a gentleman's sweep. The Houston Rockets did it, Chris America. They finished them off 193.
Yep. They were done in for. The Jazz, I feel like we're lucky that they went off on their last game at home and stopped the sweep from happening, but the Rockets are just too good.
Yeah, they were Utah Jazz were outmatched. The Rockets just have too much firepower, and good games all around from the Rockets. And honestly, this hasn't been the best series for the Rockets. There's been some struggles with shooting and whatnot, and I still feel like they handled the Jazz no problem. They need to hurry up and get their A game back so that in the second round and further, if they're able to finish through the second round, they can play their best basketball, because I do want to see them beat Golden State. Now, Chris America, what I do need to say is the Utah Jazz, I was a little disappointed in Donovan Mitchell's performance last night. He was 4 of 22 shooting, and if you are going to be the man, you have to step up in these big-time games.
Yeah.
And that was just a poor performance by him. And I speak very highly of him on this show quite frequently. And last night, quite disappointed. He did not have the whole Damian Lillard clutch gene, if you will, last night. So he was done. And, yeah, honestly, I'm still replaying that Damian Lillard game-winning shot over and over in my head. That right there was the best part so far of the entire playoffs. That one shot for him to finish off the Oklahoma City Thunder like he did. God, that's to me, it's still the highlight. That happened a day and a half ago or whatever. Still the highlight of the NBA playoffs at this point.
Yeah, and it's going to be one that we see for a really long time, too. It's just it's right up there with that Michael Jordan shot, a bunch of other different, like, buzzer beater shots. So yeah, it'll be there for a really long time now. Clint Capella finally woke up. Somebody said he had like the flu or something last game. That's why he didn't do so well. But 16 points, 10 rebounds. That's the kind of production you want from your center if you're going to win games.
It is. Now, something that was a little disturbing on this game, and you mentioned it the other day, and I kind of dug a little deeper, but I looked at the Rockets, and their starting lineup is putting in some heavy minutes. And, it's a closeout game. You want to get this finished off. But you're looking at like 36-plus minutes for each of the starters. And then when you got the bench coming in, most of the guys off the bench, one, they don't have a deep rotation. And then two, they're really getting limited minutes. Only one guy had double-digit minutes off the bench, and that was Daniel House. The rest of their guys like Gerald Green and Austin Rivers, these guys are getting like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, very, very limited playing time. So they're going heavy on their starters. And I get that you need to do that in the playoffs, but I hope they don't wear their guys down as they're moving forward in the series. Now, it does give them a little bit of a break that Golden State's series is getting extended, and Golden State's got to play extra games so they can rest up a little bit. But they're going to need some more more performance from their bench players moving forward. Don't you agree?
Yeah, more time off the bench, and they're going to need to be more productive when they're off the bench. Now, 7 from Daniel House, 8 from Nene, but 3 from Austin Rivers, nothing from Gerald Green, and Kenneth Ferry, too. I mean, we talked about their bench points production last game. I think it was a whole bunch of zeros. Got to get that production up when you're on the floor.
Yeah, that's the concern moving forward. You got to have some depth on the bench. So now Golden State, to me, doesn't have a lot of depth, and now I don't think Houston has a whole lot of depth. So we're looking at, is it just the superstars that are going to have to play 40-plus minutes each game to make these teams really tick? So that's what we're looking forward to, and it's a concern. It's a big concern for both of these teams.
Because when you got the other deeper teams where their superstars are playing 35 to 36, eventually towards the end of the fourth quarter, those superstars are going to be running, on an extra gear while you're still stuck in first because you're tired.
Yeah, it's a true story. And you get tired, and then all of a sudden you don't have your legs, and then your jump shots just come up a little short because you're just not putting enough into it, and it affects your whole game. So there's a big problem there, and they need to address that. Hopefully the bench players start stepping up in the next series for the Rockets. Otherwise, it could spell trouble for them.
Yeah, for sure.
I briefly mentioned it earlier, Chris America. I'm going to pivot over to some hockey. You love some hockey talk. I'm not going to do it in my formal hockey talk segment. I'm going to speak emotionally from the. This has been the most disappointing hockey play. Every team that I like just dies. I talked about the kiss of death yesterday. I talked about not wanting to pick the Capitals to win because I was worried I was going to jinx them. And in my heart, the Capitals were going to win this one all the way through, and I think that was the kiss of death. The Hurricanes end up coming back after the Capitals have a 2-goal lead, and they force double overtime, the Canes do, and they end up winning this game. So now the Lightning are out, the Capitals are out. I mean, these are big-time teams that are out. Penguins are out with Crosby. Is this good for the NHL? I mean, I understand the parity aspect of it, but all 4 division winners get knocked out in the first round. I'm almost to the point where I'm like, I don't even know who to watch. I don't know who I want to win.
Yeah, your hope is that now, if Americans do decide to tune in, which I don't know if they will, you hope that when they do, they'll get to see some of these newer names, and they'll get to learn more hockey players. It's kind of like what we talked about with Damian Lillard, but you do still need the big names around to kind of fish in the American public, and it's going to be difficult this time around.
Yeah, it is going to be difficult, and the big names that I like to follow, the names that I know, the ones that are household names, they're all out. They really are. There's not a lot of household names left in this NHL playoffs, and that's going to hurt ratings. I know the diehards are always going to tune in no matter what, but this was similar like what we talked about with Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard will become a household name if he continues to make a deep run. Now, who in the NHL will become a household name? Who's that next guy that will become a household name? And I guess somebody's going to have to step up. So I guess we'll find out as this goes on. But the Golden Knights, the Capitals, the Penguins, the
Smashville.
the Lightning.
No PK Subban, no Crosby, no Stamkos.
I mean, I guess the only team that's got a little bit of clout right now would be the Hurricanes because they had the bunch of jerks thing going on.
Yeah.
And I think that brought in some casual fans, at least for me. I came in, I'm not a huge hockey guy, but I came in and I started liking them because they're doing these, when they would win, they would do the celebrations and they wore shirts that said we're a bunch of jerks. The whole thing became fun.
Yeah.
So because of that, I could watch the Hurricanes, but they beat my Capitals, so now I have a vendetta against them. I'm so torn right now. I'm emotionally a mess over these NHL playoffs.
Yeah. It's a rough scenario for you, Loudbeard, and I feel for you.
You should feel for me. But that was Hockey Talk brought to you by Loudbeard.
Enron. Hockey Talk brought to you by Enron.
Enron.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chris America, big news in baseball. Friday, we are going to see the debut of the number one, the top prospect in all of baseball. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is going to be making his debut for the Blue Jays. This is the guy that could be the future face of baseball. He is so good, and this is going to be a huge debut and a great thing for the Toronto Blue Jays. So I'm excited about this. I know we don't talk a lot about baseball on our show, but when you see this young guy, the number one prospect, this is a big deal. So I'm excited to see Vlad Guerrero Jr. make his debut in the MLB this Friday.
Yeah, should be must-watch TV, if you ask me.
I didn't. Okay, so moving on. Ben Roethlisberger signed a 2-year, $63 million deal, Chris America.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know what the Steelers are doing. I think he's on his way out. I think his production is going to go way down because he's lost so many weapons around him. It should be interesting to see how Juju Schuster-Smith does without Antonio Brown taking up a lot of the coverage space. And I'm not saying they're dead in the water. I'm not saying it's a terrible move, but these teams that drafted the 04s, the San Diego Chargers, the New York Giants, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't know why they haven't put in their contingency plan, why they haven't put in their Aaron Rodgers, their heir apparent, on their rosters yet and started grooming them. Like you mentioned how...
You don't believe Mason
Mahomes,
Rudolph is the answer?
No. You know how you said that
me neither.
they could have had Patrick Mahomes? Man,
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes should have been in the game for them last year. And they should have traded Ben Roethlisberger. Now people say that's crazy. He's won 2 Super Bowls. Yeah, he's won 2 Super Bowls, but now he's the guy that thinks about retiring every other offseason and just isn't as good. I mean, I know he led the league with most passing yards last year, but he also didn't lead his team to the playoffs.
Yeah, I feel like the fall for Ben Roethlisberger is going to come fast and furiously. Now, it is only a 2-year deal. I got to give them, the Steelers that. But, yeah, there needs to be an exit strategy at this point. We need to know what is going to be the end game for the Steelers, if you will. And
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's on my mind. It's on my mind. It's always on my mind. Still jealous that Scott Kaiser got to see that damn movie before I did, but it's always on my mind. Ben Roethlisberger, yeah. I guess you got to do this as the Steelers to know that you keep him locked up, but I don't know. I don't feel that Roethlisberger's got enough in the tank to really be the solution for the Steelers. Kind of like Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch, he didn't have enough left in the tank, so he decided to retire. And I think that's the right thing. I think it was time for Marshawn to go out. We don't want him to be getting 200 yards and being hurt half the year next year.
Yeah.
It's time for him to go out on top.
Yeah, time for him to go out, and good that he played for his old hometown and got to see the fans right before they leave and go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, it was a good story. A feel-good story. It made me cry every time I ate Skittles.
All right.
Is that what you do, is you cry every time you eat Skittles?
No, Skittles is a happy thing.
Well, good. I'm glad you said that. Well, Chris America, I've exhausted all of my topics for today's show, and we've got about 2 minutes left. So why don't you just hit us up with what's on your mind? What's on the top of the Chris America's mind? What is it that you are excited about for today, for this weekend? What is it that makes Chris America tick?
Well, you did mention Avengers Endgame, so I am excited to hopefully go see that. I still haven't got. I got to get tickets. I'm such a slacker, man. I'm such a procrastinator. So I'm really excited to see that, Loudbeard. Everybody says it's been an epic movie. It's worth the 3 hours that they're ready to see it again. So a 3-hour movie that people say I want to see again has to be really, really good.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this one for a while. This is going to be good. And yeah, I'm going to go see it Saturday. I've got my tickets already locked down. But I have a feeling that I'm going to probably the following weekend say, it might be worth going to see it again based on all the feedback I've heard. Could be a double-decker.
Yeah, and Scott Kaiser saying, hey, man, nothing but love for you, but countdown's almost near the end. In fact, you could say we are in the end game now.
Oh, I see what he did there. Look at you guys. Wow, that's special. So, yeah, we've got a lot going on this weekend. A lot of great NBA action's going to be coming up. They've got the Eastern Conference matchups already set. Still waiting for the Western Conference to finish up because the Clippers are extending this, and we still have that Nuggets series, which is looking fantastic. So Eastern Conference has their schedule all wrapped up. I believe they start Saturday or Sunday. I'd have to double check. But a lot of good basketball, a lot of good nerd stuff going on. Game of Thrones, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Endgame, and I'm also excited that
I was waiting for it. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow on a Friday. And make sure you subscribe on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher. Subscribe. Listen to our shows. Peace.
Hey, what's up there, listeners? This is your friendly neighborhood Loudbeard, and I'm here to tell you that there's two type of people in the world, those that are on a podcast and those that want to be on a podcast. And if you are one of those out there that want to be on a podcast, one of the first decisions you will need to make is which podcast host you want to use. That's right. If you're thinking about starting a podcast, you need to check out Podbean. Here at Scout Team Radio, we have been using Podbean since the very beginning, and we absolutely love it. They are easy to use, and they have affordable options. Just go to podbean.com/STR. That's right, Scout Team Radio. Podbean.com/STR to get started today. What are you waiting for?